Okay, we're going to cook my cider braised pork shoulder with mashed potato and spinach. So first off, we just need to get a big knob of butter into the pan with a little bit of oil. So, about that. Into the pan. And then about a tablespoon of oil. And we can leave that whilst we go and sort out the pork. Okay, we just need to season the pork first, so it's a good pinch of salt and pepper. Nice and generous with the salt and pepper. Okay, and a good idea when doing something like this is to try and keep one hand clean, because you'll get one hand on the pork and then you can got the other hand to handle stuff. So just with your hand that's going to get dirty, just mix it all up and then pop it straight into the bowl with the flour. And then toss that together. See, still got a clean hand. So you're just wanting to get it all nicely coated with the flour. Okay, so it should look something like this. And we can take this over to the hob. Okay, right, we need to just get this on and browning now, so we're going to do this in 2 batches, and careful, it might splatter, so just taking half of the pork, pop it in. And then using your tongs, just move it around in the butter and oil. And all we're literally doing here is just sealing the pork. So it'll seal all the nice flavours in and just get a nice little coating on the outside of each chunk. And the reason why we do it in halves is because if we were to put the whole thing in at once, the coldness of the pork would just cool down the pan too much. So we can turn these over. Just lightly turn them in the pan. You're just looking to get a little bit of colour on them, so don't worry too much. You can't go wrong, that's what I'm saying. Okay. So we can take these out now and put them on a plate, and then add in the last batch. And obviously there'll be a little bit of excess flour in the bottom of the bottom of your bowl, but just be careful not to take too much of the flour out. See, I've got a bit of flour, so just sort of give them a little shake, just so that you're not taking all the flour from the bottom. There we go. And again, just move them around the pan with your tongs. And if it's absorbed all the oil, you might just need to add a little bit more oil. So just pop in another tablespoon of oil, so it'll give it something to brown up. And then just turn them over, just making sure that the parts that haven't been browned yet just get turned over facing the heat. It doesn't take long at all. Okay, so now we can add in the first lot, sorry. And your thyme. And then the cider. So just one after the other, so you've got all of your pork in there and your thyme, and then add in the cider. Go, just give it a little stir, just to check nothing's sticking. And you can leave this just to come up to the boil whilst you go and wash your hands. Okay, it's just coming up to the boil now, so you can turn the heat off and pop the lid on. If you don't have one of these dishes that can go straight into the oven, just transfer it to an oven-proof dish and either cover it with foil or pop the lid on that. So you just need to pop this straight in the oven. And then we just want to leave that for 40 minutes, and then when you come back, we'll have a little compare, check ours are looking the same, and we'll get the potatoes on. So come back in 40 minutes.